back to Get With The Programming. I'm Chase Ingram.
I'm Captain America.
As long as me, it's
Wow. Wow. Well, thanks, bro.
and along beside me till death do us part.
Hi.
Man from Cal
Hi.
Poly.
I'm Bill. Hi.
I'm Bill. Still here. Still here. Saber, Kelly. Hi, friends. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Lisa.
Today is a giant what if day. I should put a disclaimer because the last time I made up something, everyone's like, you can't do that. They can't possibly. I was like, no, this is all fake.
Yeah.
This isn't real.
They had a hard time with that.
This isn't really what is happening. This is just a, hey, wouldn't this be cool kind of scenario. I've already been informed by the barbell spin that
Are you way off?
All my dreams are crushed.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's okay because these are my tinfoil hats. What if this may happen idea of what could come in the next CrossFit Games season, which is all but less than 2 months away.
Jeez, man. Hey, so let me ask you when you were coming up with this, like, did it immediately jump off the page when they had their amount of what the season was going to look like? Did it all of a sudden the first thought like, well, shit, strength of field goes out the window, and okay, so how are they going to do, and how?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
was it the numbers? With the numbers that like at least 30, and then so many would come. Like, is that how you were?
No, actually, funny. Funny you asked that question. When we did our just recapping of regurgitation of the information they gave us,
yeah.
As soon as the episode was over, I was like, oh, what if this? So all this was just spurned on our conversation we had about the game season. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, what if this means that? And how about this? And yeah, Scottish G, I am not speaking on behalf of CrossFit.
I am currently.
But Bill is.
Currently, I am speaking.
Yeah, everybody's got it backwards. Like, thinks he's the mouthpiece for CrossFit. Actually, it's Bill.
That's me. It's all me.
The amount of reining in, and this actually isn't a joke, that I have to do on Bill before we...
He's like, hey, you're supposed to say your mouth.
I don't think I fly off the rails. If I just hit... me and Bill will get into this studio, and before we click the go live button.
Don't accidentally hit that.
I'll just click the live button and just let Bill go. Just like, oh, by the way, we've been live for 10 minutes. Y'all think I'm bad.
I have a little angst in me.
Yes. Lisa, no, I'm not forgetting the kids at daycare today. At least I don't think so. As I did on our last show. I was so worked up about getting on live, and my daughter has dance on Mondays.
Yeah.
But her dance is at a certain time that conflicts with me getting Dylan from school. And it was all Ashley's mom. My mother-in-law.
Yeah.
She's like, I want Blake to be in ballet and tap. I'm like, I don't. And so she takes her because she, it's her little granddaughter, and
yeah.
And she gets I think with grandparents is they get. We've had this conversation. Our grandparents or my parents are so perceivably so much different with my grandkids than I think they were with me. Right? And they are to a certain extent.
Oh, dude, all parents are different. All grandparents are different than how they were parents.
Thank you guys for that.
What up, Eden?
Yes.
Dude, it's the classic. Parents are supposed to parent and teach you and all the things. The grandparents are supposed to spoil you.
Right. Like Ashley was not ballet girl.
Yeah.
These days, you would probably have her slated for like gender reassignment surgery because she just wanted to like slick her hair back and play soccer with the boys all day. Right? Like that was my wife. My wife was the athlete, the tomboy.
Yeah.
She was basically like my father-in-law's son that he didn't have, and just like decided that, all right, well, you're gonna be my boy in which is now Dylan, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Dylan was the first boy in the family. Actually, the only boy in the family.
Wow.
Yeah, so Ashley has a sister.
Yeah.
And so that's their 2 kids, 2 girls. Her sister has 3 girls. And then we have Blake. So when we went to Thanksgiving, went to go to my sister-in-law's place. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It was just Dylan and 4 girls.
Oh, wow. How's he deal?
Great. Yeah. He kicked a soccer ball into one of their faces, and then, Gigi came out, and it's like, Dylan can't, he needs to reel it in. I'm like, you think he's kicking the ball that hard? I wish he kicked the ball hard. But yeah, it's great.
That's funny.
But yeah, so that's how I forgot my daughter. Usually I'll pick her up before the show on a Monday.
Yeah. Well, yeah, dude, she's been like, we've seen her on a bunch as of late.
Well, yeah, because she was home for Thanksgiving. Both of them were. Good.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving break is so much different as a parent. As a kid, it is Thanksgiving break. Christmas break, Thanksgiving break, spring break, fall break.
Mm-hmm.
There are no breaks. It's the worst. I don't want to say the worst. Yes, my kids get to be home and I get to spend more time with them.
No, it's a change in the routine for sure.
Bubs Naturals.
Bubs.
That tinfoil hat Chase is wearing has a CrossFit logo on it. You're right.
It's crazy looking. It's like reflective.
I'm a paid corporate shrill. What is it? I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah. When are you guys getting a call-in line? God, that would be a horrible idea.
Do you?
No,
I honestly think we've talked about that. I think it could be kind of fun sometimes. But it would be interesting. I think it would be interesting to see how we would roll with it.
Okay, I'll say why. I hate live call-ins. I hate it.
Well, you can't. I mean, you roll the dice on it.
The radio, and I'm listening to my sports radio. And like, all right, this is fan call-in hour, and the just dumbest things people bring up. I'm like, I hate this. I hate this segment. I hate it with all my heart. Like even on the Savant podcast.
No, dude, you're the one that always posts every single time. It's either there or like in our chat. You're like, why? Please. Do you let these people?
And Savant loves it.
I know he does.
And it's on spin, and Susan, it's like, I get it. I should like power to you. This is a me thing. It's not a y'all thing. It's just a me thing. I hate it. And I get it. I get it. All right. Back to the task at hand. Theories. So when Bill and I went through the games season announcements, which were, I would say, a lot of new things, but very few real details.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, when we got off the call, I was like, man, I should have brought up this random, what if this or what if that? What if it means this? It was like, is it top 1%? Is it worldwide? And I was like, all right, I'm just going to put it all in a thing. Like just a whole PowerPoint presentation for you guys. And if there's misspelled words, please understand that I was up till like 11 p.m. last night just trying to put this together. And I will do my best to walk us through. Bill has not seen this, so he will get you will get the real raw reactions to this. Yeah. None of this is groundbreaking, and this centers only around my theories. Either you could call it predictions. I know nothing, just like you guys. Or what I would like to see, which is fun knowing nothing, even though I work for CrossFit HQ, because I can do this. If I knew, that'd be kind of messed up, right?
Well, I will. Hey, I'll tell everyone just so that they don't get any like misunderstandings about that. We've all been in that. Me and you have both been in that position where it's like you are able to say and do things until you know certain things, and then you're like, "Hey, that's got to be off limits now." So just so you guys know, like whatever Chase is throwing out, he doesn't know any of that yet.
True.
So
I do, and without giving any information, it's like, "Hey, you want to?" I was like, "Nope, too late, missed the boat."
Right, or he can't. So all of a sudden, and I don't even know if I should even say it. Should I say it?
No.
All right.
I don't know what you're gonna say.
It's not. I don't think it's anything bad. I mean, it's showing that like you'll protect. Like we'll schedule the day where we're going to be looking at like what we think like what our ideas of what the like workouts will be on certain events or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I can only ask you about what yours are this time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
And that's fair.
Right, right.
I mean, and we don't make a big deal about it where it's like, hey, I know what they are now, so I'm starting to do some,
Right, which
my
people
research.
do, right? You'll see people on social media is like, "I would like to tell you guys about this, but now I know this thing, so
Right.
sorry, I can't do that." Like, I
I
would
have so
never
much. Look how cool I am with
look
all
how
this
much
information.
inside information I have, but I'm not gonna tell you because I'm not supposed to. No, I don't definitely
You
don't
just
do
don't
that.
say anything. It's really that easy.
I think there was one game show, not a game show, a CrossFit Games show where we were gonna do our top 4 predictions of what might happen to the games is you and JR
Yeah.
and myself. And I was so excited because I thought I had some good ones. And then I got to a position where I knew things. And so I told you, and JR was like, listen, I can't contribute to the show anymore. All I can do is just ask you guys for your things. And I also can't give you too many what if scenarios. Like I'm out. So
Right, I know.
I can't do that.
It was funny. That was
No,
funny.
I was not talking about John Young. I like John. I wouldn't do that to John. Okay, so disclaimer: none of this is true. I don't think. Barry, gosh, yes, the Eagles are great. Chase, how good are the Eagles right now? Very good. They're about this very good last year, and then they totally imploded on their way out, which I hope happens again. I
want to see how you started. I want to see like what was like the opening question that led to the other questions, or was it was it how are they going to fill the spots, or was it the
so
semis? Like where did it start with you?
It started with the 1%.
Oh, okay.
So when I was thinking, I was like, all right, I'll just go through it. It started with 1%. I'm like, oh, maybe the 1% isn't what I think it is. What if it's this? Because in my head, I was like, are we getting rid of all semifinals? And then the question is like, are we getting rid of the strength of field? Are we getting rid of the Daham? Are we getting rid of all that? Is there going to be no representation from Africa this year because the system just doesn't allow it? Because there's no way anyone from that region is going to qualify for the top 15 in the world in online semifinals. No chance. And then if they have their own in-person, which qualifies one spot, you don't think 10 people from the US and Europe and Australia are all going to go down there and fight for that one spot and knock your one person out?
I know.
Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Their whole thing, like since the beginning, is this like worldwide representation. Now, I think it should be whittled down a little bit. I mean, it's always been small, but last year there's too much. Matt Burns, let's just see you Chase piss off today. I don't know. Probably everybody that sees me happy and carefree about what they think about me because they can't bother me. All right. Theoretical prediction number 1. Top 1% go to semifinals. My thought was that doesn't make sense. So you're going to say the 150,000 men and 150,000 women that sign up for the Open, they're going to take, what would that be? 15,000 people? Well, that's not right.
1,500.
1,500, thank you. 1,500 people in the online semifinals. Well, how many of those people are going to be equally represented in an online semifinal worldwide? It sounds like maybe they're going to keep the semifinal regions. That will still be citizen-based as it's always been for the in-person semifinals. And you're going to take the top 1% in all of these semifinal regions for the men, for the women, and that will be the online semifinal and in-person qualifier pool that advances into the qualification process. Because then all these other regions will have some representation more than when they would have ever had if it was just the top 1% worldwide. A lot like qualifying for quarterfinals.
So you think it's going to be the 1% in their respective regions to go to semis?
Yes, I do.
So like how? Okay, so if you're looking at that way, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think that at least gives a step. I'm not huge when it comes to representation. I personally I don't really give a shit. I want if we're crowning the fittest,
yes,
I want the fittest people to all get in there and battle personally.
And I'm with you. It just
even though I love the Olympics, I love the Olympics.
Right.
but this is yearly, so this is our world champions. It's a world championship. It's different.
Right.
That being said, I do like the idea, at least initially, or at least on the surface, of a 1% in those semifinal regions. But now it's like, okay, do you go to the old semifinal spaces, or do you go to, like, is it the 15 semifinal spaces, or which one do you what did you look at?
I'm glad you asked that. That will
Look at
be
me leading you like
look
this.
at you. Bill
Dang.
doesn't even know about this, but and then I also had a thought as like, oh, they put so much, maybe not so much, but they put effort into this
They
worldwide
put effort.
top 100 ranking system and this strength of field, which I liked, and I agree with the path they were trying to take. We've had our ideas of a better, more real-time based strength system, which we did last year. And the DeHunt method, I was all for. I was like, okay, I get it. So to Bill, answer your question, I've changed 0 semifinal regions. It's still 7. It's the same it's always been. Some consistency carrying over. And just for fun, the question is like, okay, well, how many people from each semifinal would basically be the top 1% that advances to semifinals? And here are your numbers. If we went off just the top 1%, and I'm using the 2024 Open, right? Again, if you're just joining us, this is not real. This is a what if scenario. So North America, if you took the top 1% of just everybody who signed up in the Open in North America West, it'd be 295 men would qualify and 272 women. East is 411 to 407.
Whoa,
Way
crazy.
more people in the East, all right?
Crazy.
Europe, 588 and 420. Now, that sounds like a crap ton, which it is, but remember, we're splitting North America in half. Right? Asia, 116 and 63. Oceania, 89 and 88. Africa, 34 and 28.
Jeez.
South America, 123 and 105. Now, for places like Africa, it's like, oh, that is your semifinal. It's just the top 1% of people who registered for the Open are competing in your semifinals.
Yeah. So they get to all do battle again.
Right? And then you had to do quarters and to get the semis, and really it's just the top 1% of people who registered for the Open go to your semifinal. Not just bash on Africa.
I'm not saying anything.
I'm actually
saying.
absorbing this in real time. Instead of keeping it in, it's just coming out. Sorry.
But and this would be like the plug-in, the John Young. I mean, they're just trash.
Yeah.
Africa is just trash.
Lee, do you guys believe there's someone out there who has never competed in CrossFit but maybe does another sport that could actually place in the top 20 at the CrossFit Games? No. Not even close.
No.
They wouldn't even make the top 20 at a semifinal if you put them in there. No chance.
Nope.
CrossFit, the sport, now is just as specialized as any other professional sport. You have to be playing it, practicing it, and training it to be good at it. Period. End of story. No chance. Because like pick an elite athlete in any niche. This is a great question. I know Glee's asked this question because people have been talking about how they need to expand to like more athletics. And this was the thing back in 2010, 2008, 2012 days. Like, well, they're not athletes, they're CrossFitters. So like they would pick an athlete and say they would win the CrossFit Games. It's like, stop confusing athleticism with fitness. They are not one and the same.
No, they're not.
They're not one and the same. And so, for example, it's like pick the best athlete in any sport. We'll say gymnastics. Simone Biles. It's like, all right, CrossFit Games comes around. Guess where she's going to finish in event 1 of the games this year? Guess where where she's going to finish in the track mile, and then yes, the handstand walk one and the handstand push-up one she'll probably be pretty good at, but I don't think she would win it. She's still got to pull that damn sled across the field. Now she might, but that's one. All right, so no, you're getting last.
Yeah.
Then pick the strongest person in the world. What are they going to be good at? The clean ladder, maybe.
Yeah, remember Klokov?
Right. Right.
I mean, the best lifter out there, super powerful,
Yeah.
and he could only do one thing, and that was it.
Right. And so, I mean, it's a classic question. But back to the task at hand. Okay. So this is just what it would look like.
Were you expecting those numbers that way?
I was actually expecting more.
Where?
Just anywhere.
If you add those up,
I just realized how small 1% actually is.
Right. Let me see. So for the guys, it's 9,000.
For
Well,
what?
it's probably pretty close to, was that like 1,200, almost 1,500? So that's about the number, right?
Yeah.
If you put them all together, okay.
So, I mean,
I do like this version better. I will say that.
So when we move to online semifinals, you are competing in the pool just like you would at semifinals.
Right.
For, as Dave Castro said publicly, for 15 to 20 spots, depending on something I'll talk about later, and then he never did. And I was like, son of a gun. So part of our discussion today is what that could possibly be.
Right.
All right, so this is what 1%, if you just took the open, this is what 1% would look like qualifying. So all of these people would be advancing into the online semifinal stage and the in-person qualifier stage. Because I don't think it's said, but this is how I read it, is that you cannot compete at an in-person qualifier for a ticket to the CrossFit Games without doing the open and qualifying in the top 1%, which really is like getting your pro card that everybody's wanted for the last 2 or 3 years.
Right. I still think the interesting part about that is the amount of opportunities you'll have.
Right.
And to watch, then it will become very interesting on the scheduling of when that thing happens, to be like, okay, like let's use the Africa example.
Right.
The in-person Africa example.
Chelsea. It's not online, it's in affiliate. Yeah, right. Of course.
Right.
In affiliate semifinals. Thank you for correcting us, Chelsea.
As people are getting their spots, then those athletes will be moved out, and because they won't need to do it again, which will open up these spots. So it would be interesting if they were like, if Africa all of a sudden says, hey, we need to be the last one, or we need to be the first one, so that we have the best opportunity for our people to get in. Because if they're the last one, and think of the athletes that haven't made it in yet, okay, they're gonna go to Africa, and it's like, okay, are you getting the best, or did the best already get put out? So maybe you're gonna get the
you're essentially your top 15 to 20 games qualifiers for the men and the women can compete in the in-person, but they've already got their ticket.
Right.
So it'll do the bump down thing.
Right.
Just like sanctionals.
In your example here, if they get their welcome, if they get their spot, are they prohibited from going to one of the other ones?
No, I think they can. Competition experience, money, whatever. Yeah, you can go. You can go because you're not taking up a spot. Now, here's the cool thing. I might be getting ahead of myself, but remember in the last episode where we had Tyler on, and we're talking about the greatness of regional days, and they were just big.
Oh, dude, the champions.
Right. Okay. Well, think about this. Say, for example, North America gets 2 qualifiers in the West, 2 qualifiers in the East, but there's no I'm getting ahead, but there's going to be no restrictions on the qualifier. The qualifier season is free for all.
Yeah.
Boundaries are gone. The boundaries are only going to be for the online / in affiliate semifinals.
Right.
So North America gets 4. And this is just say locally. That means they can do essentially whatever they want in terms of invites and spots available. So say, look, there is, what is this, 706? There are 706 men moving on to semifinals after the open. Those 706 men would have never had an opportunity. I would say, the 600 and what's 80 minus?
Right.
636. No, sorry, 626. There you go. 626 men would have never touched a regional semifinal floor because they were only taking 60 last year.
Yep.
Now, these local events can be like, guess what? We've got 2 games qualifying spots given to us by HQ. We're going to open up the men's elite division to 150 athletes. You don't think people are going to sign up for that?
Seriously, I know.
What you do is you now these small time qualifier events become the old school regional days with twice. You get to pay to go compete for a game spot again. You're back. The one thing we've been asking for could be back in this system. Because what are you going to do? You're going to tell the qualifier event is like, actually, you can only open up 60 spots for people. It's like, why? We have 1 spot. I'm going to open up 200 spots to come compete here for the men.
Oh, yeah. So that let them do whatever way they want to do it.
They can do whatever they want. They've got their 1 games qualifying spot for 1 for the men, 1 for the women. I'm the West Coast Classic. We're bringing it back. We're going to Del Mar. It's just elites, and it's 200 men, 200 women. It's $200 to sign up for your chance to be a regional semifinal athlete for the very first time, which is what most of those people care about because they're not going to get that 1 spot. They just wanted to be on the floor.
Right.
And you get that. Then the community's back in. Guys, we got 3 guys from our gym that qualified for semifinals. They're all going to go compete in San Diego in May.
Well, and the fact that it's relatively local or much more local would be a big deal.
Yeah.
I would, man.
Again,
you know what it would end up being like.
Making this up.
No, I mean, just trying to think of like fun feels of how it would be. Like that to me would be like
party,
like minor league hockey.
Where
it's going to be everyone fight, like it's going to be brawly fights for the spot.
Yeah. It's what's the banana baseball league? You know what I'm talking about?
The banana baseball league?
Yeah, there's this like fun, goofy minor baseball league. And I think the bananas is just like one of them, but like they all do like choreography in the outfield and dance and pitch, and it's this whole thing, and it's really starting to grow. It's like you give what people wanted back, which is like that local old school CrossFit competition.
Yeah.
That everybody had a shot at and wanted to come cheer their buddies at.
Yeah.
So that's theory. All right, so I just want to show you guys what the top 1%. Savannah Bananas. Thank you, Matt. I knew somebody would figure this out. Savannah Bananas. Theoretical prediction number 2, advancing from this, is the worldwide ranking. I more so don't want to go away because we spent so much time last year. Right? And so I put as CrossFit will use their top 100 worldwide ranking system from the games ending this year and apply it to the Open because the Open is going directly to semifinals. Now, I put in parentheses, we would still stand by the Open determining the strength of field and subtracting team athletes or people not competing. How do you do that? You just do the whole select competition button and then we're going, right?
Jeez, man, especially after last year's games.
Right. Okay. So this is CrossFit side, right? They're going to use the top 100 going into the season, and that's going to dictate the top 100 representation of all semifinals around the world. And then with the 20 spots that they're going to give out in online semifinals will be dispersed dispersed through the 7 semifinals with everyone getting 1. And then the remaining 13 will be used using the DeHunt method to spread out from region to region. So we have our 7 regions, 20 spots are available. And then before we run the DeHunt method, every semifinal online is going to get 1 male spot, 1 female spot. Now there's 13 other spots to divvy up and move forward in the online semifinal using the top 100 from CrossFit's worldwide rankings, and then determining the strength of field based off, well, there's 2 in Asia, none in Africa, 1 in 3 and 7 these other places, and then they're going to divvy it up from there. Right? You guys should know this by now. I would like the strength of field and top 100 determined by performance in the open, just like as we had last year. So every week,
making the open matter.
Here's the thing: the Open's going to matter more than it ever has in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Maybe not 5 years because 2020 they qualified directly to the CrossFit Games. But the cool things that can come out of the Open this year is that if this 1% is regional, every week we will be able to scroll down to North America West, who's holding spot 311 and who's sitting at 312, because we know that's the last spot in, and you can do that for every semifinal. So every week, you're doing the who's in, who's out. Inside a leaderboard show, we've got 5 past games athletes that are outside the cut line week 1 in this region, that region, that region, that region. That's going to be a fun show. And then on the tail end of that show is like based off the performance in week 1. Here's your top 100 in the Open. Here is the worldwide ranking, and then here is what the spots would be if the Open were to end today. And you do that week 1, and you do that in week 2 and 3, which is what we did last year for fun.
Yeah, and it still fits great.
And now everybody's
so fun
and more excited, and the Open's going to matter more. Right? So as we advance from there, right, this is where everybody needs to just stay with me. Right? It could end there. Right? You got your top 100 game spots, 20 spots. But in my head, I couldn't shake the 15 or 20 concept out of my brain. I clearly don't have brains if I say brains in that plural sense, but I couldn't get it out of my head. I was like, what does that mean? So I was like, theory. What if, and this is option B, they capped the max number of spots you could get online. So say Europe keeps trending on what Europe is doing. And of the 13 spots available for the men, they get 8 more, which some would argue they've earned, so they get it. It's like, no, I don't think that's what's going to happen, because they're going to take away from more whatever. It's like, what if it's capped? What if the cap total number is 15? So say Europe gets all the numbers. Like, well, no, the max you're going to get, okay, let's just say the caps are this. We're capping you at 4 and 4. Now, you might have gotten 8, right? But your online spots we're going to give you is only going to be 4. I put no limit on South America, Africa, and Asia because they're not going to get any more. I capped Oceania at 2, North America comps at 3 and 3. That total, right, is 15. So the remaining 5 spots, if you have got them under your cap, they're going to take those extra 5 that you earned, and they're going to give it to the in-person qualifiers in your region. Okay, so say Europe has the French Throwdown and Madrid CrossFit Championship. Those are going to be in-person qualifiers. I don't know that for sure. I'm just giving an example. It's like, guys, we're going to give you 2 and 2 for men and women because we have 10 spots that we're not using because they said 30. Actually, they said 30 minimum. It could be more. 15 to 20 in onlines, and then the other 10, they're going to disperse through in-person qualifiers throughout the world. Well, you guys earned 5 more men's spots because you guys were so good in the Open. Those extra spots, because you hit your cap, we're going to give to your in-person qualifiers. So now, French Throwdown is like, not only do you have 1, you're going to get 4. Madrid, you're going to get 3 more. You've earned those. So your in-person qualifiers are now even more important because your region earned more qualifying spots.
I hear what you're saying.
That makes it more confusing.
No, not really. I'm trying to think. if I was CrossFit, what would I be wanting to have happen? And I first of all don't think, even though I like what you're saying here on this particular setup, I cannot see them not giving spots to the other regions. I just can't. I think that they have um, uh, international representation way too ingrained that.
No, all of these will get
Will
like
they still get their one?
these will also get their one. There's no limit.
Okay,
There's no
okay,
limit.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So think of this.
I thought
Think of
this
this.
year were 15, and then you were going to divide them up
No, no,
after
no.
that.
The
Okay.
15 is based off the cap. So 3, 3, 4, 2. That's 12.
Got it.
13, 14, 15.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
This is their most that they're allowed to get.
Do you think that CrossFit would rather them? I mean, I agree with making the in-person competitions more exciting. I think
Yep.
that is what we want. We don't. I don't think that the general consensus by anybody, athletes or fans or would-be competitors, would want the online competition to be more important, especially if you just went from the open and then to the affiliate semifinal.
Right.
Um,
What this does is it allows Europe to earn more spots
which
that
is
they've
pretty
been
cool.
saying they deserve for the last couple of years.
Right.
But
I
they
like that.
put it-
I do like that part.
Right. But they put it, right? You're capped at 4 on. We're not going to give away 9 online spots. Sorry.
I hope not.
We're going to give away, you got a max of 4. If you get more than that, any extra spot you have earned based off your region's performance in the open, you're going to give to your in-person qualifiers to make those even more important and more valuable that more people would want to come to and be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a gift you give to those event directors who are doing the work for you with very little support from HQ to begin with.
Because the more openings you have, the bigger event that's going to be, the more athletes you're going to have showing up there, the more eyes you're going to have on it because of the more heat that's going to be on that. So yeah, that's a big one.
And so like now the French Throwdown says there's like, guys, we were given 1. I think they should deserve 2, but now we have 5. We have 5. We have our semifinal back again. Not only that, the top 4 athletes in this region, Laura, in every division, already got their spots. So even if they want to compete here, you're not fighting for 1 spot anymore.
Yeah.
There are 5 openings. So
I like it.
just a thought. Oh, and this was like the 15 to 20 passive thing that Dave said. It's like, okay, what would 15 be?
Right.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe they won't give all the spots to North America East. That's it's not necessarily unfair because they've earned them, but let's have some type of relationship between the online format. We don't want to be all online. Let's give these extra spots that they've earned to those local competitions in that area that still everybody can sign up for.
I do like that.
And like I said, the cap limit is only for online. The extra spots you can earn go from there. So as an example, North America East, right? Their online spots, they've got 3, but maybe they earned 5. Their local competitions in person get an extra 2 spots that they earn through the open versus 5 online. And again, that's a minimum. They said minimum of 30 men and women qualifying in the CrossFit Games. So maybe they are going to give away 20 in online. And they're just like, you know what? This 30-30 thing really isn't going great. We've got 12 events that want to be a part of this. We don't have 10 spots to give to 12 events. Let's just make 20 online, 20 in person, and give away more. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
But that's a theory. And so then I was thinking more of like, okay, what would make it more engaging in the open? Okay, well, your strength of field should be determined your performance in the open, real-time strength of field. And we do what we did last year with our strength of field shows, top 100 every week. All right, if the open were to end today, here's who's got the spots, here's who's got extra spots going to in-person competition, here's in the top 1%, here's who's out of the top 1%, so on and so forth. And you do that week 1, week 2, week 3. And they will be the most engaging shows because it's basically unveiling who's in and who's out, week in and week out, tuning in, every week as it unfolds.
And making every single weekend after that more and more important based on what spot is open. It's like finding the last golden ticket for Willy Wonka,
Right.
you know?
And you get to see those spots and you get to, I was like, all right, this was week 1. And then week 2, you show the shift that we did, right?
Yeah.
Because week 1 and week 2 is like, oh, we had 37. What was it? One time we had like 52 European women.
Yeah, totally.
Week 1 of the Open.
Yeah.
And we made the comment is like there are more women in the top 100 in the Open from Europe than are actual qualifying spots for their semifinal.
Yeah.
They had like 48 and there's only 40 spots to be there in person. So
that would be fun. Those shows would be so fun.
They would be so fun. And the games should do it. Not us. Because you got your open announcements and then you have your basically online qualifying announcement. Now we could all do the math.
Right.
Right. But how cool that is if that's everybody would tune in. Who's in? Who's out? It's like, oh wow. So-and-so's outside the top 1% now by 300 spots because they didn't care. I mean, that happened. Remember how could you not forget? But the burpees, 7 minutes of burpees.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Some people didn't take that seriously and they missed regionals because of it.
Right. It's
like,
just 7 minutes of burpees. Like,
know.
no. You need to go to a really bad place.
Right? Yes. Or 24.1.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm 1,000 spots outside of the top 1% right now. Oh my gosh. Barbell spin. Is this an official statement from CrossFit? Well, if I'm talking, you know it is. I'm getting paid to say this. I'm getting paid to just like make stuff up on my end of like, hey, what would be cool? Now, to show you guys how fun I think those shows would be, I've enlisted the help of Barkley Dale to overlay this initial concept, not the plan B concept, just the plan A, just the 20 spots online. We don't need to make it confusing. Over the 2024 Open. So the hope is on Friday, we mock show what a 3-week Open announcement period could be. So it's like, all right, here's the top 100 after the CrossFit Games. And we're going into 25.1. And then 25.1, we'll just use the results of 24.1. Like, okay, here's the top 1% spots available. You're right, Spin. I should take the plan B off. Spots available for every semifinal region. This many men, this many women, blah, 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 blah. All right, 24.1 is done. Let's look at the cut line to online semifinals. And then you go to number 397 and you look at the 5 spots above and then any notables below. Oh, this many games athletes are out right now in the North America West, South America. All right, now I'm going to tune in more. Did they make it back after 24.2? But then we take the top 100. Here's who's represented in every semifinal region in the top 100. Based off this is the strength of field, and this is the spot allocation for online semifinals if it were to end today. You do the same thing for week 2. You do the same thing for week 3. So
I think that'll be super cool.
I have poured that on the shoulders of Barkley so you guys could see just what it would look like for fun as just mind-numbing entertainment for you guys. Hopefully.
Did you send any HQ invites out to it this time?
I did not.
We didn't do that. Dude, you can't like tag them into it.
Yeah, this stuff just, has a trickle-down effect. Usually just hits a brick wall, but
I get it.
yeah, this is not a you guys should. This would be like it'd be cool if
Here's a great. Well, okay. Once again, what did we say in the last show? It's like, hey, it's not just bitching. It's bitching, and here's an example. How about this? I'm not just complaining. Yeah, here are some problems. Here are some fixes and why we think it would look in and what it could do.
Yeah.
Not that it would do or whatever, but like here's an example. Test it out.
This is what it would look like.
Do you have another option? Oh, you don't? Here's an option.
Here's an option.
I'll lay it out for you.
Here's the work. I like it. Randy, I miss Jeopardy. Me too. 2025. 2025.
Nice.
Just working on some, we want to keep the train rolling. working on little sponsorships. Back that show. It is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I want to take care of the people who are taking care of us. So we'll get there. But yeah, that's the idea in a nutshell.
I like it. I do
Nothing
like it.
groundbreaking. But I do think is like, and this was all spurned on the 1% thought. Top 1% advance to online semifinals and the qualifying in persons, right? You have to do the open, you have to qualify, and then you can do all these events. Like there is no path to the CrossFit Games that does not go through the open. None.
As it shouldn't.
Right. Exactly. You can't just like, oh, I'm skipping the open. I'm just going to go do the local throwdown here that got one game spot. That's not happening.
I hope not.
And then, oh, you're telling me you're opened up hundreds of more in-person qualifying chances? Well, I'm going to sign up for the open. I mean, back in the heyday of 2018, well, maybe not 2018 because the spots were limited, but they took 20 from one smaller region.
Oh, yeah. When they did the super
20
region.
from another smaller region and then smashed those together. So there's still more opportunities, even when they are mashed together.
That was actually really interesting back when they did that because I was in the California one, obviously. So we had the SoCal and the NorCal that got smushed together. And you would have someone that would be in like, I'm like 12th in the NorCal region.
Right.
And you get everyone together, you're like, whoa, I'm like 35.
Yeah, you're like, oh man,
like, wow. But maybe my number is a little different. What I really thought.
In 2011, they had, what was it, 17 different regions around the world. I might be inflated that. It might have been 13. Call it 13. Every one of those had 60 people qualify.
I know.
In the men and the women.
Yeah.
And you wonder why everything grew so fast.
Yeah.
But everybody thought they had a chance. And they had better statistical opportunities than ever before.
Right.
This system that CrossFit's rolling out potentially is that and more. Like if you're telling me it's going to be and they're not saying this, but if it's the top 1% in every semifinal competes online for their semifinal spots, it was 17. Thank you, Chelsea.
Nice job.
How long have you been around? Our personal fact checker. I say it's spin, but he just like fucks with us the whole time, which I love. Is okay. The 407 men in North America East are all in play for an in-person qualifier.
Yeah.
Not to mention the other 270 from the West, and there's no geographical restrictions to any in-person competition, and North America has 5 of them. And they all said they're going to open it up to 150 elite men and elite women. And so these people whose dream has been to step on to a games qualifying competition floor, that's not going to happen. The more this was just stuck in my head. It's like, oh my gosh, the thing that we've been saying we've missed the whole time. It might be the biggest opportunity to move on to the next level than we've ever had.
Well, it definitely, we talked about wanting to go back.
Right.
You remember how it was, man. Like there were athletes that wanted to go to the games. There were athletes that just wanted to be they made a big deal about, I'm a semifinal athlete.
You had 3 spots at these.
I'm a regional athlete.
Right.
I'm a regional athlete.
It's in people's bios.
I know.
Semifinal athlete. I'm like, okay.
So, I mean, like, you're right. That does. I mean, that ups the ante and the chances. And the thing is that, whether, I'm sure there'll be naysayers that will do the money grab thing. They'll make that comment, but the non-competitors would say that the people that want a shot would be like, hell yeah. I mean, look at what they did with the Masters. Everyone figured that once they hit 30 something, they had no chance. They had to wait 10 years or 15 years till they got to 45.
Right, spots were
and then it went to 40. Then it went to 35. To where all of a sudden it was like they didn't have to go on hiatus until they get into the Masters division or whatever. So like it does open up the opportunities
and
to actually compete.
Right. To legitimately compete for a chance to qualify for the CrossFit Games.
Which is massively different than even when they went the 10% for like the the quarterfinals last year,
Mhm.
because not 10% tried that.
It's
They're
20.
like, I'm gonna go in and get my ass kicked. So it probably was like the 3% or whatever. Anyway, so like again, these are the athletes that are going to be up in that realm. That is what they want to do.
Right. And if
That's
they
awesome.
separate the 1% regionally,
Yeah,
you have a better statistical opportunity to make it to the next level, which
Yeah.
is the semifinal qualifying season. Online for half, in person for the other half.
yeah,
And then when you're there, online or in person, your statistical chance to make the games has also increased.
because you have multiple opportunities.
Multiple opportunities. Even if it's 200 people for one spot, you have a better chance to make the CrossFit Games than you ever did when you made the top 25 in quarterfinals and you were trying to make semifinals. You had a better shot. You now have a better shot to make the games than you did trying to make semifinals.
Yeah.
That might not be true, but it feels like it. I don't have Barkley here, so.
I like it, man. I think it could be fun. It could be really fun.
And it'd be fun at the local level.
Right.
It's like, okay, I'm going to bring the Lone Star Shootout back here in Dallas, Texas. And we got a games qualifying spot. 200 men, 200 women, 400 people sign up. And all the local affiliates, because their buddy who trains at the gym probably has now made an in-person qualifier. Sounds like regionals to me.
Yeah.
Not the elite individual that trains by themselves in the corner. More power to you guys. That's what you got to do. I get it. That's what you got to do. Well, that's not what you have to do, but we have decided that's what it takes.
Right, right.
In a training camp or, you do you. I just feel like it brings it back to the base. And those 400 people that go are going to bring one person with them to come watch.
A point that you made when we had our discussion with Tyler was that how we kept raising the bar and it kept pushing and splitting that distance. And this way right here does fill in the gap.
Right.
That has been
We've
missing.
gutted the middle class of CrossFit competitors.
Yeah. It's actually really cool. That's actually really cool.
Who knows?
You have to have more of a gradient, and that would definitely allow for that.
Top 1% in every semifinal. Move to online semifinals. Each online semifinal region gets a certain allocated spot.
Mm-hmm.
And say that's your 20 spots online. And then the other 10, make it 20. And then there's 12 to 15 local events around the world that all get one spot, maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
And that extra spot allocation is based off your semifinal region's performance in the open or online semis.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
We'll see. Obviously, it's just for individual competition. I'm not going to try to mess with teams. Teams are all online. Sorry.
Right.
But those qualifying events, they can do their own thing. They can invite as many people as they want to come get that one spot. You are no longer hamstrung to 30. Because you qualified you got your pro card. Everybody's been asking for that. Open should have a pro tour and should have this worldwide system. Is like, you got your pro card in the open, you got your in qualifying games thing. Is like, all right, I'm going to do the online open, see where I get. All right, I miss it there. I'm going to go to this event, that event, and this event over the course of 6 weeks because I got my card and I can only sign up if I qualified because all game spots go through the open.
Yep.
And there's 200 other people here. It's like, all right, that's better than the 450 I was competing against online. And now I know the best athletes that are in my area are gone. Oh, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know. There's a lot of common sense in there that worries me.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, not on your end, but
I feel like that's not that complicated.
yeah, and
I know Plan B was complicated, but I just wanted to throw out Plan B as a what if to the what if. But
No,
like,
I get it.
20 spots, top 100, divvy it up, online semis, boom. The other 20 spots are.
I said, like I said, I think it's so easy and makes so much sense that's what worries me because I haven't seen that happen as of late.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always sitting there waiting, and maybe it'll change.
If like say these in-person qualifiers are worried about like say Africa, right?
Yeah.
Like we're gonna have 150 Australians come over here. It's like no, because what you can do is that you can open up signups only to. It's like, hey, 100 of these spots are going to be open for those that qualified, right? And then we're going to open up 50 spots where anybody can sign up.
Yeah.
You can designate local spots.
Yeah. I like it.
We'll see. But I do think even if none of this happens, right? However they want to run online semis, however they want to give away the spots and what happens in person, I believe the opportunity is there for this to matter more. Like the Open clearly matters more. It's what we've been clamoring for along with everybody else for years. The Open already matters more. It's Open semis, Open regionals, which we've been saying. Now it's only 3 weeks, so dear programmers, dear Dave,
right.
Dear Dave and Boz. But these in-person ones, I don't believe should have any cap of people to sign up. That means more people get to play of every fitness level that is in the top 1%.
Yeah.
So it's potentially what people have been wanting, not maybe exactly what they've been wanting, in a different way. So oddly enough, I'm optimistic about what this will be.
And that's what I said. It makes such great sense, which makes me be very optimistic as well. I just haven't seen those things go down the way they're supposed to. So I'm reserving my right to be like, well, we'll see what happens. But
I feel like everybody
love the
should be able to
idea
wait
though,
and see.
dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun.
Like I'm even on team wait and see. Like
Right.
I'm on team, you got to prove it.
Right.
Right. The trust bank is like the trust bank is basically like at the level of U.S. debt.
Right.
When it comes to the game season and like I get it. I understand. It's like, wait, you just said something not
this one worries me. Yeah, probably after the games this next year.
True. Or it's like, well, so supposedly January is when the rule book will be posted. Beyond that, I don't know what's coming in between now and then. When the announcements are going to come, how they're going to release those, what the details be. Like, I want to know more about the Community Cup. Just to know. Yeah. Especially my position.
Yeah.
I work with the affiliates.
Right.
Larry, it's fun to see Chase get excited about it. Yeah. I love this stuff. Especially the Open. I love the Open. It's one of my favorite times of year. So we'll see.
Christmas.
Yes. The day of an Open announcement is like the most hyped I am of the year. I wake up in the morning, I was like, Open announcement day. Boom. Wonder when it's going to be. Leading up to, I'm just excited. I'm the first one, and I might not comment in the chat, but I'm there.
Yeah.
Watching. Judging. I'm just kidding. No, I am judging. All right, that's what we got.
Dude. I like it.
So what we'll do is we'll try to take this idea and concept, overlay it on 2024 so you guys can get an idea of what it's going to look like just for fun. And that will be our show on Friday, same time, 12:30 p.m. Central, or as, for those Pacific snobs, 10:30 a.m.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gerald, oh my goodness.
Look at you guys.
Gerald just gifted 5 memberships on our GWTP. So let's see. Libby, I apologize. Troy, I apologize. Steven, you got looped in. T-Bird and Meredith. Thank you, Gerald. Thanks for gifting all of those.
Very cool. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and just let it ride, guys. It's just $3. You won't even notice, and we'll keep bringing up crazy ideas like this. Larry Young, I love it, but legitimately want to know how much olive oil I have to order to get a max. What is that?
Dude, you're strong enough as it is. What are you even talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Like, I would say for you, a teaspoon.
Hey, Bailey. Good to see you. Can't wait to talk about wall balls with you next. Yes. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you for gifting all that. I appreciate that. Appreciate all you guys. I really do. Me and Bill love you guys. We'd be just screaming into the void if it wasn't for you guys.
We'd look really silly doing that.
We would, but we'd still do it.
Because
that's why we do it.
Right.
We do it because we love it. We do it because we have a lot of fun. We hope you guys have fun with us too, as well. So that is all. That is all. Stay tuned for Friday. Hopefully we get that done. If not, I'll throw Barkley under the bus, even though I threw him under the bus to take on that task by himself already. But happy Wednesday. Is Around the Whiteboard on today?
Should be.
Let me take a look. Around the Whiteboard. Let's see. Coffee Pods and Wads, who has changed his decals for the third time in 7 days. Very Brady Bunch.
Very
Brady Bunch. Let's see. Tier Water Blues kickoff live. Past live streams. No? Is there no Around the Whiteboard today? Pedro. No, wait. Oh, no. All right. Well, he just did this interview with Pat Vellner yesterday. Also the one he did with Justin Kotler. Both were worth going to watch. I know tonight for sure. This was a fun one. The spin will be there tonight. He says, Colton Mertens. Is Mertens most popular man across? Oh, the Iron Hog himself. So that'll be tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central. Go watch the spin. That'll be the action for the day. We will be back on Friday as hopefully we unveil our fun what if system for the game season next year. Thank you guys. See you Friday.